All right, Aquarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Here's for my Aquariuses. Their May 2020 reading. Okay, so for my Aquariuses, so I'm getting for you guys kind of right off the bat is, for a lot of you, I feel like a lot of you have definitely keeping to yourselves, definitely being isolated. That would make sense. This is May 2020, so right now a lot of people are still in quarantine. But even just kind of overall, I feel like for a lot of you, this is a general reading, but I do feel like a lot of you, even kind of before, has been kind of feeling maybe some of this isolation. And just been overall, just have kind of felt cut off. And I feel for a lot of you have been kind of cut off in a lot of ways, just kind of where you almost kind of been like lone wolfing it, where it's like you just kind of feel like you're not as connecting with people the same, or with your environment the same, or current affairs the same. Like it's just kind of been like a shift in yourself where you're just kind of like very, very indifferent in a sense. And I'm seeing with all this swords energy, I've definitely been sensing a lot has been on your mind, and that I think a lot of ways, like your mind is almost kind of like taken over, you know, because we have the King of Swords here. So I'm almost kind of sensing like the mental capacity and everything that's kind of been going through your mind. And even with the Page of Swords, it's almost kind of what I'm kind of sensing is almost like this. You've been thinking more than feeling. I think that Hermit, it's almost like you've cut off your emotions in a lot of way, and you've just been kind of caught up in the mental game and the different things that have been going on around you and in the world, and all the different disappointments. And that, and it maybe for some of you also, kind of this idea of contemplation, this idea of, I think you're aware of feeling disconnected. You're aware of this kind of isolation you've been feeling, and you've been feeling it for a while, this kind of disinterest in a lot of things around you. But I think you guys are actually starting to think about, perhaps this isn't as healthy. Maybe there needs to be a shift here. Maybe I need to change my perspective here. Maybe I shouldn't be so caught up in the mind and so stubborn, or maybe not stubborn's the right word, but just needing to see a different perspective. And I think maybe in May, you are going to see that shift, or that kind of like, I feel like for some reason, I don't know why I'm saying this, but maybe with a lot of the things that have been going on, maybe you've just been feeling it the hardest or the most severe. Like it's affected you guys differently than maybe other people. I don't know. Maybe this is a general reading, and obviously what's going on with the pandemic is affecting everyone. But for some reason, I'm seeing that kind of, because I feel like a lot of you have already been kind of feeling this way, and with all the current events that have happened leading up to now, you know, it's almost like exacerbated the situation where you're like, well, I was already kind of feeling this, and now with everything going on, it's almost like the volume's almost up on a max, where it's like, I've like almost have dealt my amount of already feeling disconnected. Now with everything else, you know, I'm sick and tired of like this feeling and this perspective, and perhaps it's time to change the way I look and approach things, or in some sort of way like that, or maybe even like a change in approach of life and lifestyle, maybe even maybe in May for some of you, you're going to be having a shift in your lifestyle. Let's get some clarification. Okay, so right away when I saw the High Priest, intend and create, so I think maybe for some of you, a lot of that shift that you may be seeing in May is, I feel like maybe for a lot of you Aquariuses have been maybe cutting off certain parts of your personality, or you haven't explored certain parts of yourself, and maybe part of that change and that shift that you've been craving or starting to realize that you might need. I think in May, a lot of you may actually embark in maybe a creative hobby in May, or some sort of different creative venture than maybe that you're already doing. I just see like this sensation of being so mentally drained by like kind of everything going on. Like you have to like shake things up. You need things to be a little bit different. It can't be the same old. Like I was already kind of having a hard time before everything, and now everything going on, it's like, in May, I think I do see a lot of you are going to make certain shifts in hobbies and try different new things, and to really try to change that perspective. I'm also seeing, kind of like stand your ground. Kind of once again, I feel like, with that, almost like you were kind of feeling like you were losing your footing. You were losing your ground in regards to just being so overwhelmed mentally about everything going on that, that it was time for a change, or you're feeling this desire to change your perspective and change your approach to things. And I think a lot of you, if even for those of you who may already be creative, I think some of you are going to embark in maybe different creative endeavors, just because I feel like I'm sensing you guys need a change. And in May, I think a lot of you are going to actually embark on that change. Let's see, maybe some advice, maybe more details in regards of actions. Follow the signs. And be still a while. Okay, so I think from kind of with that right away, kind of tying in with all this swords energy, it's been a lot of overthinking. And I think part of that, and also kind of with the stand your ground, I think some grounding is needed, where you feel like you're just kind of going all over the place mentally, which will also, without even realizing it, because you just think it's so much in my head, but like it also affects you physically and emotionally and spiritually when you're so all over the place in your head, that I think a lot of you will start to really start embarking on a lot of grounding in May. Maybe take the opportunity to some advice and suggestions in May is to really value meditation, balancing and grounding your energy, learning to be still. I feel like for some of you, a lot of you are very mind oriented, really like you just go, and you don't think twice, and kind of very smart, very intelligent, always using your mind. And I think for some of you, you might be getting at a point where you're just like, I just need to like almost like shut it off for a minute, and that time to really just kind of be still, I think is going to actually benefit you. And I think in May, that's going to really embark on on either a meditation practice or whatever will help you kind of, get yourself back onto earth, sort of say. And with follow the signs, I think kind of going into that, because we've been so in our heads, I think a lot of us have not been really in tune with ourselves and our heart and our intuition. So I'm seeing a lot of for a lot of you in May, you're going to start embarking in becoming perhaps more in tune, becoming more psychically inclined. Maybe some of you will actually just become more sensitive in general, and it says to trust your instincts and trust your intuition. Let me see if there's anything here with the divine masculine. Cultivation. Yeah, so I mean, just that, I mean, I see that in just kind of everything going on. It's that, you know, it's the starting, you know, new beginnings, just kind of like having, bringing in new things into your life. I feel maybe for a lot of you, things have been very stale, and you're just going to start just changing things and bringing different things into your life. Just, I just feel like you've had enough and you're like, I just need a change. And I do believe in May, you're really going to be making that change. All right, let's see from our divine feminine. Oh, cards are going crazy. Yeah, and compassion. Kuan Yin. Oh, that's a beautiful card. There's, I think, just right here, I think some of it, I think a lot of you have kind of forgotten, as a part of this kind of like isolation, to kind of like forget to take care of yourself, and whether it's your health, like your physical health, your mental health, your emotional health, and to also find compassion. I think for some of you, a lot of you have been almost in a sense have been felt very cold and very almost like numb about everything coming in. But I do see that in May, it's really calling you to become more compassionate and to really step into your intuition, into your heart space, and to really become much more in tune with your emotions and how you're feeling, and to not completely cut off these other aspects of yourself. Let's see. Maybe anything else energetically we need to know. Maybe a blockage that we're not aware of. Universal light. And forgiveness. Oh yeah. So with compassion and forgiveness, I feel like those kind of go hand in hand with, you know, when you open up your heart space and invite more compassion into your life, a lot of that is going to bring up a lot of things, and it's about the forgiveness of within yourself, but also the forgiveness of others. And I think it's really calling for you to open your heart up and to forgive yourself and to forgive others around you. And that kind of ties in with a lot of you, I feel will really heighten in your psychic abilities and your intuition, and you're going to be more in tune than I think you realize. And with that universal light, it's kind of tying in together to let you know, like, you know, you are of the universe and we're all connected. And as woo-woo as it may sound, you know, it's very much true in that because of that, we're all connected. And I think that will be the seed in this transformation and this change and shift you will have in your life, where you're starting to be more creative. You're going to be much more in tune with different parts of yourself, and you're going to be much more understanding of our connectedness, the connectiveness of the people and us on this planet. And it's just gonna open your heart to a lot of healing and a lot of forgiveness and a lot of transformation. Let's see if there's anything else for you guys. Surprise. Okay. A disappointment will be followed by a pleasant surprise. An invitation could bring love to those searchings. So yeah, I think I see for you guys. Yeah, so kind of what we were saying overall, this sort of like disappointment and this indifference that we've been feeling. I feel in May, these shifts that you're going to be called upon wanting to do to, you know, embrace different parts of yourself, making these changes, open yourself up, becoming more spiritual, more compassionate, more forgiving, and, you know, and I feel in this shift, I think in May, it's going to result in a positive outcome that maybe you haven't realized, and perhaps, you know, kind of within the scope and the timing of everything, you start making these changes. It's going to put you more aligned, and it's going to be much more of a positive change than I think you have in mind or maybe expecting. And for some of you, it could even be the alignment and the change you needed to make into your life in order to bring in love. So, and, you know, it's a very general reading. So, or even if you're in a relationship or you have someone, maybe it might even be the change that you would need to even like go in deeper or have a better understanding in your partner or grow together. And maybe for some of you, it's this change that you need. And, you know, this might be, you know, obviously, like I try to be very honest in my readings, but maybe for some of you, this is the change you need to make in yourself, but perhaps you're going to realize certain people, maybe romantic or otherwise, are because of this change and how much positivity it's brought into your life in May, that perhaps there are some people you need to let go because they're no longer on that path with you, or they're no longer aligned in the sense where they would only hold you back. And that is the time for you to embark on this positive change for yourself and to not let anything or people hold you back. I think that's it. As much as you may love them, that was like, it might be really hard initially, but I do see that in May, you're going to be called to going into a different direction. And I think you just need to follow the signs and trust that this is that, you know, like it says, surprise, there will be something waiting, you know, a life that you would not have imagined waiting for you at the end of the tunnel. But I think that's it. Thank you guys so much. I really hope you enjoyed this reading and that resonated with you. Don't forget to like this video and to subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment below. Let me know how you felt about the reading, how it resonated with you, maybe some suggestions for future videos, and I will see you next time. Thanks. Bye-bye.